When people are released from jail, they have the responsibility to appear in court. But some of these people choose to go on the run.
They go back home to mommy.
And that is when these guys come into the picture. So sit back and listen to the Off the Hook podcast with Chad and Rob.
Very fine people on both sides.
These are real stories, but the names have been changed.
What's up, guys? I'm Rob.
I'm Chad. What's up?
And we are back again for another episode of some thrilling stories. But before we get into our story, man, Chad, did you see that where Metallica was playing up at Virginia Tech? And he rocked it out so hard that it created like a small earthquake?
Yeah, supposedly it measured a 3 on a Richter scale.
Man,
I read in one place.
That's pretty badass.
That's a lot of vibrations and being put forth by that. Yeah. So
because that's what the Virginia Tech comes out to is Enter Sandman.
It was 100,000 people. So I heard. If that's correct or not, that's one of the things I saw. 100,000 people.
You'll get to see it here very shortly.
I get to see it at the end of this month, the 31st of May.
I'm kind of jelly. I want. You got to give me some. You got to give me some like videos.
So yeah, it's 3 bands. It's I see they picked up different people. Like they had Fred Durst. I wanted to see him.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
With what is he? He's like the '90s band that he was in.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. Yeah, there you go. Did it all for the
Nookie.
Correct. So, but I guess they're picking up different ones as they go. But Metallica's the headliner, and but I am a Pantera fan, so I get my Pantera shirt today.
Man, that's gonna be awesome, man. Yeah. I'm really jelly.
Zach Wild, man, that dude's a serious
he's
looking cat.
Dude, Zach Wild is a monster on the guitar, dude.
That dude, the way he holds the guitar and he plays it, and just that whole thing he's got going on, man. That's the essence of heavy metal.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, man, that's gonna be good, man. I'm actually going on a little vacation. I'm going down to the Sand in My Boots festival down in Alabama. In a couple of days, going to get away, and Brooks and Dunn will be there. That's who I really want to see, Brooks and Dunn. My girlfriend wants to see Morgan Wallen, but I'm not a big Morgan Wallen fan.
Is that a guy or girl?
I have no idea.
Dude, I'm so tired of that. I'm sorry. If there's anybody out there listening, man, just pick a side. All right, here's one that gets me a lot.
Okay,
we won't go into a whole lot of it, but I saw one recently. It was a girl and girl. Girl decides to become a guy and stay with the girl. Why didn't the original girl, other one, just pick a dude? If the girl's becoming a dude, like that's a lot of effort to go through to.
I'm already confused.
Right? I know. Well, they definitely are. That's for sure.
Well, all I know is if you don't know what a girl versus a woman versus a man is, go milk a bull.
Look, man, God does not make mistakes. All right. So if you were born that way and you're questioning these things, it's a mental thing that you need to address, not a physical thing you need to address.
Well, it's getting out of hand, I think.
Well, the thing I saw about you got to be 18 to get a tattoo. And when you ask the liberal about this, they say, well, tattoos are permanent. You think that chopping off your things not?
Yeah.
I'd much rather get laser removal for a tattoo than try to stick a thing back on that you cut off.
I don't know, dude.
Anyway, we'll get off that topic.
So last week we had a good week, but the problem is I only saw you for like one day, I think.
Yeah. So
and
I
you had to go down
the SCALI, the South Carolina Private Investigators conference. It's cool. I got did some socializing, met some cool, interesting people that do actually some people that we might be doing some work with that are they do executive protection on the western part of the state.
Right.
And so I was doing a little collab with them because they stop at like Raleigh, and we're, everything east of Raleigh, they're not really into. So I'm like, well, we like to go up to Raleigh.
Yeah.
So that would fill in the gaps. So
it's not far. I mean, I was just up there on Thursday, but Yeah, man. So how was the conference? Was it good?
They've stepped up their game as far as versus bail bonding conferences with how they hold things, and it's nice. One of the topics that actually was 2 classes that was toward the end that I liked in particular is the use of AI and how much they're talking about. They're saying that Google is going to be replaced. Your search results are going to be replaced with AI results based on what your search criteria has been in the past. AI is going to figure out what selection you would want, something to that effect. Anyway,
man, it's almost scary how AI has become.
Oh yeah, well, there's lots of facets to it. I mean, for us, we work a lot on SEO for where we rank amongst. I mean, we have to compete against 20 some other companies, right?
Man, I don't even know who.
So
2/3
in our area, that's what we're competing against. When you search on your phone for a bondsman, so we're competing against those people. So I'm constantly trying to work on SEO stuff. Well, it looks like our SEO is going to change, and
right.
I'm not too scared about it because our content is, such that, we spend a lot of time on content on our website.
Yeah.
offthehookbail.com.
Plus the podcast. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, that's on our website too. So it's content that's put on every week. But anyway, the AI thing. There's also a way to spot AI. There's websites out there that I was taking notes, and there's a couple that you put it in and it'll tell you if it's AI or not. I think that's actually one website is AI or not.
Well, I remember. I don't know if you remember. It was a month or 2 ago when JD Vance was across seas talking about AI.
Yeah.
And how I think
he wants to get out in front of it.
He wants to get and the USB and in charge of it. But your problem is, man, some of these Lulu lefties, if they ever get a hold of it, they'll how the media does. They have an agenda and they can use that towards that.
Yeah, I definitely see the media getting a hold of it and making a picture that's not real.
Right.
Or even a video. Like this guy in the class, he made a couple of videos and was showing us the videos, and at the end of it, he's like, that wasn't real. And it's pretty darn close. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I can see that being, even getting even better. And, I see big problems with that down the future, but it also can save you a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make a lot of people lazy.
Yeah.
Than they are.
Speaking of AI, did you see that on TikTok, man? It's the baby talk. It's like babies doing little short clips from movie scenes.
Oh, no.
And they got one actually for Theo Vaughn doing the podcast, and it looks like Theo Vaughn as a baby, and he's talking, and it looks like a real baby talking. It's weird.
It's got a little mullet.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny as could be, man.
I love listening to Theo Vaughn.
Yeah,
he's good.
Dude, he comes up with
out of nowhere. He's some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
You got to check his podcast out. We're trying to reach out. I want to land us on something like that. That would be awesome. Oh, jeez. Of course, the phone's going to ring while we're here.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
So speaking of some stuff earlier, this next story that we have for you guys, God, I have this picture it's been lasered into my brain, I think, and it's horrible. He's dirty. So we're gonna call this guy the Dirty Electrician. Okay. So before we get started on this story, here we go.
I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can tell got too much to tell.
There we go. That's about it. Because like I said, you don't want to get a strike. What you doing over there?
I'm just replying to the person that called us because I'm trying to keep business rolling, right?
Yeah. So, the Dirty Electrician. So
I think I vaguely remember this one.
Yeah, you remember it because you were sitting in the office when all this was going on, because it spanned over a couple of weeks of talking to him. So the Dirty Electrician, he was wanted out of Brunswick County. I want to say it was $25,000 bond.
Okay.
Out of Brunswick County.
Was it ours?
No,
No,
it was
Okay,
not. It
cool.
was Bulldog. What was his name?
Oh yeah. He's not around anymore. Anthony.
Yeah, he's working at the jail now.
Anthony. Yeah.
He's a jailer now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So he's a jailer at the Brunswick County Jail now, but
Okay.
before that, he was a bondsman. So he had gotten up with me and said, "Hey, man, I need some help looking for this guy. I have no idea where he's at." Gave me some information, start looking into it, find his social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then, with my fake girl.
Of course.
And of course, I was already friends with a bunch of,
Go through his list.
Yeah.
Just go through his list and see like most of his friends are girls.
I was like, I had
So
like,
that gives you kind of idea where
I
the
had like
guy's head's
50,
at,
I
right?
had like 50 mutual friends with him.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Anything over 10 is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I friend him, and of course he friends me just back like that.
Your picture of your girl was hot. I take it?
Yeah, she's smoking.
You had some good photos in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he starts hitting me up before I even hit him.
Absolutely.
I
You were
know.
the aggressive one.
Yeah.
This chick really wants me more than you know, big boy. Yeah.
All right, so I start chatting him up. And within like that first week and a half, we're just chatting back and forth, texting, blah blah blah. And he was like, "Let's talk." I'm like, "Well, I'm busy. I travel for work, so I'm always in the airport or flying here, flying there."
Got your phone? We can chat.
Yeah. I
Right.
said, but I can text you. So I'm texting him from my
Mm-hmm.
text app number.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finally like, all right, well, it's cool. Let's meet up. And he was like, all right, well, cool. I'm working right now in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's a long ride, man. That's a long flight. We did the Albuquerque not too long before this.
Okay.
And it's a long flight
Yeah.
with somebody in handcuffs. And Phoenix is a little bit further. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And I was like, all right, well, let me know and I'll book a trip and I'll come out there on such and such day, whatever.
Pretty fast, Rob.
I know. I was like, well, I got to come
You're
through
a
there.
chick, man. I mean,
Well,
they
I
can
made-
have their pick.
I made, I made him
Too
think
available.
I was going to, I had to go to California and
you
because I
were-
travel for work.
I see.
So I told him I could stop by in Phoenix for, a day or so and see him and then go about my way.
Okay.
And I'm sending him pictures of my girl the whole time, just to kind of keep him, the bait out there,
Mhm.
So finally I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do? And because he stopped responding as much, and I was getting kind of afraid that, he's just not interested no more or something. And I said, look, I need to know something because I need to book my flight to California. And if not, I'll go straight there and then screw Phoenix. And he finally hit me. He's like, hey, well, they just flew me back out. They're just flying me back out to the east side. I'm like, all right, well, cool. I'll hit you up when I get back. So I'm texting.
Yeah, you got to continue with the story.
Yeah.
You got to stick to it.
Yeah, you got to stick to it.
You can't alter it at
No.
that point. I hear
So-
you. Good job.
Yep. I get back from California, say.
Enough time has passed. Yeah.
Enough time has passed.
Mhm.
And then, well, I know, right? The people out, these fucking people.
Phone.
Oh my God. Hey, look at me. I'm so pretty. God. All right. So
People walk by like we're mythical creatures. Look, a bell line off it.
I get like a fish,
They really are real.
like a fishbowl.
Yeah. We're right here. We see you. We can hear you. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So I get back from California, per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there chit chatting it up with him. And I tell him I live in Raleigh. So he's like, all right, cool. And he's like, hey, I got some free time. I'm off for the next couple of days. Let's hook up. I'm like, I'm down. I can take off.
You are real easy, Rob.
I'm so easy.
Jeez.
I'm so easy. I want him to
I know.
to want
but
me.
You gotta play hard to get a little bit.
Well, I do play hard a little bit. I'm like, I don't. I'm excited, man, because this dude's finally wanting to hook up.
We need some chick around here just to give us chick advice,
Well, dude's
We're
just
thinking
stupid.
like a dude. Well, I know that's the problem.
Dude's
I mean,
just stupid.
we are, but then again, at some point, light bulbs got to go off. Like, this is too easy.
Look, I don't think he was that bright. Okay.
Well, I mean, we
He
don't
wasn't
know
that
him
bright.
like we don't know him that well. But
He's from Brunson County, man.
Well, yeah, okay, let's start.
All right.
Anyway,
So he tells me he's up in Richmond, Virginia. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not far from there.
Of course not.
I said, all right, let's, I pick a hotel right off of 95 South, right south of Richmond.
How are you just randomly there?
I told her I was going to drive up there. I told him I was going to drive up there and go hang out with him. And I was going to get a hotel room. And if everything went well, he could stay the night and blah, blah, blah. He was like, cool. I was like, all right, let's go get dinner first. He was like, all right. So I'm booking. I get in my truck and I'm driving as hard as I can to 95. Then I'm on 95 North. And the whole time he's like, all right, cool. And I'm trying to time it right. Well, I couldn't because I was so far away. I called some guys that are bounty hunters up in Richmond. I was like, hey, I need you to grab this guy for me. He's like, yeah, no problem. So I told him, I said, the hotel I was setting everything up at. They were like, all right, cool. We'll be there. All right. So I got everything set up. Oh, this dude's being late. By the time I get there, but all right. So I'm driving. I'm like 5 hours away, 4 or 5 hours away, 4 hours, something like that.
Okay.
So I'm about halfway there, and he just shows up at the hotel. He's late, and he doesn't want to come in. And I'm like, hey, I'm in the shower. I'm trying to get ready. You're late. I'm hungry, and you're just being a pain in my ass now.
Yeah, you got to bitch a little bit.
Yeah. I start bitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I got to bitch about everything, right?
Yeah, you got to act like you're in demand, not him.
Yeah. So he was like, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll order some food and we can eat it here at the hotel. I said, fine. I was like, but it better come now because I'm hungry. And he was like, okay. What do you want? And I'm like, I'm looking in the area of like places to eat. I'm like, Olive Garden. That's good, right?
Guess I didn't know. I guess you can order out. I don't know much about Olive Garden.
Yeah. He goes, okay, I'll order Olive Garden. What do you want? I'm like, all right, let me look and I'll let you know. So I call the hotel and they know what's going on, right? And these two girls working at the front desk. I'm like, hey, girls, what y'all like for dinner tonight? It's on me. And they were like, from where? Olive Garden. And she was like, okay, cool. Well, they gave me a list of everything. And I add some stuff on. And I'm like, and I sent it to the guy. I'm like, order this and have it sent to room such and such.
Okay.
And the girls at the front desk will take it. Okay. He's like, I'm on the way. So he does. The food gets there, and the ladies at the front desk call me. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. It's not even on me. It's on the dude I'm after. He sent it. And I was like, so y'all enjoy. This is for helping me out. They're like, all right, cool. Yeah. And so he's sitting in the parking lot now, and he's scared to go in. He's like, I'm scared to go in. I'm not myself. I'm scared. I've never done this before. And so I'm like, look, I'm sitting here in a pair of thongs, and that's it. Eating Olive Garden by myself. And there's so much food here. Are you going to come up and do this or what? He was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, send me some pictures. What in the world? We have some crazy people out there.
Crazy homeless person.
All right. So he's like, send me a picture. So I sent him a picture of my girl, like waist down, and he sends me a picture back. Now, sir, when he sends me this picture back, I drive heave in the truck. It's a picture of his penis that's erect. And it's nothing. Dude, I think there's more hair than penis I saw. It was
okay. We can leave. That's enough.
Hey man, if I have to endure it, you can endure it.
No. This is all you're living in the past, dude.
All right, so it was disgusting, and I'm like, ooh, yay, come on up. And he's like, all right, I'm on the way. So I got these two bounty hunters that are sitting on a bench outside the front door of this hotel, and they're not looking like they're not looking suspicious or nothing. Dude finally comes walking in. He walks through the front door, and the bounty hunters get up and walk in behind him. And when they walk in behind him, they bear hug him and said, "You ain't going nowhere, bro." And he was scared to death. He didn't know what was it. They put him in handcuffs. And the girls at the front desk, the guy told me this after this, but the guy looked over and saw a bunch of Olive Garden, and them girls were throwing down.
That's cool.
And so I finally get up there like 20 minutes later. I mean, I'm booking it. They meet me. I get out, meet them. We switch off. I pay them. I get back on the road and start heading back. And he gets he's a little mouthy little guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him, I said, bro, I said, you don't want to do that too much in this truck. I was like, well, it's just me. So I'm like, I'll hog tie you in the back if you want. But he was pretty cool. But man, when I got here late, I was like 2 o'clock in the morning when I finally got back.
That's terrible.
That was horrible. I met the bondsman at the gas station out there where you come into Wilmington, Wyndham gas station where the big flag is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I meet him there. He pulls up, and I get out, and dude, this bondsman's pissed. He is mad. He drags this dude out of my truck, switches cuffs, and throws him in his truck, and it was gone. Now, that's $25,000 saved.
Mm-hmm.
Few days later, 3, 4, 5 days later, maybe a week, I don't know. I go down and I write a bond. And I see this woman outside, and I hear her say his name. I'm like, oh, so you're Mama. You're the one I'm talking to. Yeah. So
you didn't know anything about it when I talked to you, right?
You didn't do nothing about it when I talked to you. And she's like, oh, so you're the bondsman that went and got him. You tricked him. I'm like, well, what do you...
You lied to me.
Yeah, right?
That's the thing is when we write these bonds and then they go bad and we got to start, figuring it out. You don't know who's lying to you and who's telling you the truth. And that's really hard because you would like to think that people want to, make things right.
Well, she acted like it was
But you don't know.
It was a crime to trick somebody.
Well, wasn't it a crime when you lied to me about not knowing anything?
Yeah,
apparently?
right?
I mean.
So that's the story of the Dirty Electrician.
Sounded like it.
Oh, God, it was so nasty, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And I think he had other stuff out there, like child support warrants. He owed.
So
He'd been on the run for a while.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
No, I think he actually went to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he finally went to prison.
Maybe you should write him some love letters.
You know what? That'd be, if I could remember the dude's name, the real name, that would be pretty funny to do.
You could put some pictures in, from, say, I never saw you that evening. I found out you were in jail.
Yeah, I think
I wanted to keep this romance going.
Oh, God. Ugh. Thank God I could change that number on my text app. Ugh, that's nasty.
Funny. Oh,
right.
Lord. She just, holy crap.
She looked like she had antennas on her head, man. We got a a salon. Yeah, salon next door here, a few doors down.
Women come out with like hair looking all crazy and stuff, I guess, to put money in the meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out, they got a bunch of aluminum in their head.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Looked like she could pick up TV stations.
How about that ambassador that came by this morning?
Yeah, what was that?
So we got these ambassadors downtown, which is kind of cool that town does, but the city does. But she was like, if you have any problems, you have like dog poop, human feces, throw up. I was like, what?
If you gotta tell business, I mean, we've been out here, I don't know, a long time, and it's actually getting bad to where we'll come clean up human feces. Just call us. Like, what does that tell you, dude? Like, maybe you should work on the homeless problem, the mental illness problem.
Did you hear what Trump did?
No, what? So
the money that was being funded to house these illegals, the illegals that he cut off, he's taking that money and diverting it to homeless veterans.
Sounds like a great thing to do.
Yeah, take
Is
care
there
of
a
the-
problem with that, liberal people?
Take care of the U.S. I think what it is they don't like, the liberals don't like themselves. They don't like the way America has been run. Well, as run by us white men, because that's, I mean, I'm just gonna say it, that's what the lady said. Omar, yeah, she said the white man was the problem.
Hey, that's a great thing to say, you know, from a person that probably should not be in our country,
Yeah,
who married her brother?
I don't know. I don't like
to
her.
get
I don't like her.
citizenship?
I hate her. I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't either. Anyway, we won't get too political here at the end. Just a little something to make you think about things, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see our country going in the right direction.
I think it is, man. I think people need to chill out and
Because you know China and them China and the U.S. come to an agreement.
yeah, I just saw that. We don't know exactly what the terms are yet. By the time this comes out tomorrow, would imagine that we'll hear more. But yeah, and like, oh yeah, and the stock market, my neighbor, all I heard out of him when we had those big drops,
Right.
you know, he was all over it. He was like, man, how's your 401k looking? Well, guess what?
Did you walk out and say it's looking pretty good this morning, baby?
We had, what was it? The following week, it was 2,500 points increase.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's just been increasing. Now they haven't been huge numbers after that, but I think the S&P's at a new all-time high. I mean, what do you want, man? I mean, the dude's doing it. It's just not as fast as he said.
Well, look at what he's having to fight. He's having to create peace, trying to create peace throughout the world. Focus on our stuff here. RFK is going to town. I'm glad to see
I want
that.
to hear more out of him and like stuff that he's doing. I mean, I know you got the dyes out of the food, some of them, but you know, we've had this topic. You know, we've talked about this as, you know, hear about other people that go to other countries like Italy, and you know,
their carbs are different.
They can eat their flour. Their flour is not enriched with things like ours is.
Right.
There's, you know, they're able to eat foods and not be like terribly bloated, like, you know, if you eat pizza here or pasta or something. It's just our food is not too many preservatives, too many chemicals added.
They keep you sick. So
Well, it's got to have a longer shelf life, you know,
Yeah.
that too. So it's too much.
But
you
if
know?
you ask people like in other countries, hey, do you go out to eat or do you make food at home? A lot of them say, well, we cook at home. We don't go out to eat.
But it doesn't really matter there because in general, their food does not have this stuff.
Right.
You know, the people that go to our restaurants, you know, I'm a business owner. I go to early morning business hours and I see people that own restaurants picking up their supplies, and that's, you know, same place that we're shopping, Sam's
Right.
Club or Costco. You know, Costco doesn't have early morning, but Sam's does. And you can see business owners there that own Mexican restaurants
Right.
and, you know, all that. They're loading up for their restaurants cooking. So, you know, it's our stuff. No matter if you cook at home or you go out to eat, it's our food.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll start seeing some results. I'm sure we will.
I'm hoping so. I mean, it's going to take a while, you know, to reverse some things, but I would love to see some certain things get banned and make our food good because, I mean, you go back and look at pictures of people at beaches in the 70s versus today.
No, ain't
I
nothing
mean,
but
the obesity rate is crazy.
yeah.
So, you know,
Well,
it's not
that's
genetics. I mean, you can't change genes
No.
that quick.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, anyway, on a positive note, the week's looking good.
Yeah, man. I'm ready, dude. I only got today and tomorrow, and then I'm off for 5 days, so it's gonna be nice.
I'm going to the Outer Banks before I go to the concert.
Are
I
you?
didn't tell you about that. Yeah,
Oh, when are you leaving for that?
next weekend.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, going to Outer Banks for I don't know how many days, a few days.
It's pretty up there, man. It's
Like
it's-
right on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hope you enjoy your time up there, man. Outer Banks is pretty nice.
I haven't been there in a long time, man. We're kind of researching Kind of looking forward to this. They're like from Wilmington to Outer Banks is 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's
Because
a haul.
there's no straight. I mean, there's no easy way to get there.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's going to do it for this session of Off the Hook podcast. And we got another one we're brewing. We're going to do a collaboration with a guy from Arizona tomorrow, a bondsman out there, a bounty hunter. And we'll have another cool story for
Kenny.
you. Yeah, Kenny.
So stay tuned. But other than that, I'm Rob.
I'm Chad.
And we will talk to you later.
Peace.
You've been listening to Off the Hook with Chad and Rob. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And be sure to follow us for notifications for another exciting episode. But in the meantime, you can go to our website at www.offthehookbail.com to see more. So until next time, stay out of trouble, or it'll be you that needs to get off the hook. See you soon.